Hey everyone, welcome back to Python Unlocked. We are exploring OOPS in Python. In last video, हमने discuss करा था about encapsulation and how Python support public, protected and private members. But what if we want to control how private data is accessed or modified? That's where getter and setter comes in play. So in this video, we'll discuss about getter and setter. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first is why we need getter and setter. First is to control the access to the private variable. Means, remember this, without getter and setter, user can directly access the data, access attribute data and change them freely. Maybe the value that is being updated, वो value exist ही नहीं कर रही हो in actual, that is not a valid change. So, for making that check the condition, what we are doing, we are validating the value before setting that. What we are doing, we are making our variable read-only variable, means user can only refer the data, they cannot directly modify that. If they want to modify that, the conditions will be validated first, then value will be modified. So let's understand this with help of code. What's the need of this? सिंपल एग्जांपल लेते हैं बैंक अकाउंट का. अब बैंक अकाउंट में बैलेंस कभी भी नेगेटिव में नहीं हो सकता. सपोज सम यूजर इज सेटिंग दैट मैनुअली एंड सेटिंग दैट वैल्यू इन अ नेगेटिव. सपोज मेरे पास कोई क्लास है दैट इज बैंक अकाउंट. अभी इसमें मैंने यहाँ पे एक मेथड डिक्लेयर करा अंडरस्कोर इनिट और उसमें दो पैरामीटर रखे, सेल्फ जो पहला पैरामीटर रहेगा एंड बैलेंस. अब मैं डिक्लेयर करूँ सेल्फ डॉट, जैसे कि हम प्राइवेट वेरिएबल के साथ डील कर रहे हैं तो दैट विल बी अंडरस्कोर बैलेंस. हमने डिक्लेयर कर दिया. आउटसाइड दिस सपोज करो मैंने इस पर्टिकुलर क्लास का एक ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करा एंड इसमें मैं वैल्यू डालूं बैलेंस का, दैट इज 1000 ओवर हियर इनिशियली. ओके, नाउ सपोज करो मैं अभी असेस करूं डेटा, हमने जैसे अभी तक जो डिस्कस करा था, अब मैं इसका अकाउंट का डेटा असेस करूं, दैट विल बी सिंपली डॉट अंडरस्कोर बैलेंस. हमने डिस्कस करा था कि हम डायरेक्टली असेस नहीं कर सकते हैं डेटा को व्हेन वी आर वर्किंग विद द प्राइवेट वेरिएबल, प्राइवेट असेस मॉडिफायर. फॉर असेसिंग दैट वी सपोज टू पुट क्लास नेम दैट इज बैंक अंडरस्कोर क्लास नेम दैट विल बी बैंक अकाउंट. By making use of this, we are able to assess the value. So you can see we are able to assess. Now let's say if user is changing the value of this variable, for example that is account is the object name dot the value is underscore bank account underscore balance. Let's say user is setting that value is equal to minus 2000. And if I print the value of this variable now, if I'm printing the value of this variable now, you can see I'm able to print that. I am adding the balances 2000, I'm able to make the change in this. But remember this, as we know, the balance cannot be a negative. But here we are able to update the value. We are able to assess the value by making use of this. When we are making use of this, as we know, the data is how the data is being stored. That is simply data mangling, and the way we are assessing that is simply underscore class name underscore variable name, and we are able to update the value. But यहाँ पे क्योंकि direct modification possible है, सो अगर मेरे को इस डायरेक्ट मॉडिफिकेशन पे कंडीशन लगाना हो तो हम सिंपली यूज कर सकते हैं अपना गेटर मेथड. गेटर मेथड हमें अलाउ करेगा कंट्रोल्ड रीड करना. मींस हम सिर्फ रीड कर पाएंगे प्राइवेट एट्रीब्यूट को, से अपडेट नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो फॉर एग्जांपल हाउ दैट विल बी डन, सिंपली हम यहाँ पे एक और मेथड डिक्लेयर करेंगे दैट इज लेट्स से डेफ. अभी ये मेथड डिफाइन रेफर कर रहा है हमारे गेटर मेथड को. हम क्या करेंगे, हमने एक मेथड डिफाइन करा, उसमें यहाँ पे रख दिया हमने गेट बैलेंस का नाम उसका, और वहां पे पैरामीटर क्या है सेल्फ, एंड इनसाइड दैट में हम रिटर्न करवाएं वैल्यू सेल्फ डॉट अंडरस्कोर बैलेंस. नाउ यहाँ पे हमने ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करा है, एवरीथिंग इज सिमिलर एंड let me show you this. If I run this as of now, you can see I'm still able to access the data. Now the data is being returned in the variable get underscore balance. So what I supposed to do over here, instead of using all this, what I'll be making use of, I'll be calling my method over here. Name of the method is what? Let's say that is print. Name of object is account over here. Name of method is get underscore balance. So you can see I am able to read the balance, but this way I will not able to update the value. I hope this is clear. Getter मेरे को allow करता है सिर्फ read only. हम इसमें डेटा को मॉडिफाई नहीं कर सकते. सपोज करो अगर मेरे को मॉडिफाई करना है डेटा को, देन आई कैन मेक यूज ऑफ अ सेटअप मेथड. वो कंट्रोल्ड मॉडिफिकेशन अलाउ करेगा. मीन्स हम कोई वैलिडेशन रूल डालेंगे, अगर वो वैलिडेशन रूल सेटिस्फाई होगा देन ओनली अपडेशन पॉसिबल है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे हमने डिक्लेयर करा है अपना गेटर मेथड, और आफ्टर दिस मैं यहाँ पे डिक्लेयर कर दूं एक और मेथड जिसमें मैं कंट्रोल्ड कंडीशंस प्रोवाइड कर दूं. कंडीशंस प्रोवाइड कर दूं कि किस तरह वैल्यू चेंज होगा, कैसे मॉडिफिकेशन पॉसिबल है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई से सेट बैलेंस इज इक्वल टू सेल्फ, कितना अमाउंट मेरे को सेट करना है बैलेंस का. अब ये रिमेंबर यहाँ पे हम कंडीशंस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. ये कौन सा मेथड रहेगा? मेरा सेटर मेथड. Simply as we know, amount cannot be imbalanced, right? In balance, amount cannot be a negative. The balance in account cannot be a negative. Simply if amount is greater than 0, then if the amount is greater than 0, that is valid balance. If that is smaller than 0, then that is a balance cannot be a negative. Let's say I am putting a condition, if amount is less than 0, then print balance cannot be negative. जैसे ये कंडीशन हम प्रिंट कर देंगे ऑन स्क्रीन. else if that is valid one, if that is greater than 0, in that case if amount is greater than 0, then set self dot balance and self dot underscore balance is equal to amount, means whatever amount that is being entered. Now here we are having an object for our class. Now we supposed to assess our method that we are assessing over here, get balance. This will give us the value 1,000. Second method that we are having is a get balance, that is done over here. Next that we are having is a set balance for setting the value, that is set underscore balance. And I supposed to provide the value of the amount that I want to add in my account. Let's say that value is 2,000 now, and if I print the value of account get balance, what is a new balance now, if I print that, and if I try to, let's say, just okay, as of now simply consider this. What we are doing, we are creating a class bank account. In that class we are creating one constructor in which we are declaring the balance. This is just the getter method we are setting just for reading the value, एंड सेटअप मेथड में हमने जहाँ पे हमें डेटा सेट करना है वहाँ पे हमने कंडीशन प्रोवाइड कर दिया. इफ द अमाउंट इज स्मॉलर देन 0, बैलेंस कैन नॉट बी अ नेगेटिव. इफ दैट इज ग्रेटर देन दैट, देन we will be updating the value is equal to amount. We will be updating the value of balance. Now let me run this. So you can see what I am getting. Initially I was having 1,000 as a value. After making the update, now I am having a 2,000. For example, if I try to set something negative over here, negative 2,000 I am providing. So in this case, the condition will be checked and that will be goes in if portion. Let me show you. Let me run this by clearing my screen. So you can see over here I am getting balance cannot be a negative over here. And what is the account balance in this case? That will remain 1,000 only. I hope this is clear. What we are doing, we are creating the object for a class, that is account over here, providing the value for this balance as 1,000. So initial value of the balance is 1,000. Then we are calling the method set balance. So in that we are providing the amount value is equal to this parameter value is equal to minus 2,000. So if minus 2,000 is smaller than 0, if the amount is smaller than 0, then what I'll be getting? I'll be getting balance cannot be a negative. And at the end क्या print होगा मेरा? Balance print होगा. So in this amount is smaller than 0, तो मेरे को 1000 ही balance रहा मेरा. In case यहाँ पे positive होता तो else portion run होता and मेरा balance का value update हो जाता. So let me rerun this. You can see over here, if the value is positive in this case, for example, that is 2000. So I'll be getting initial, that is 1000. After that, I'll be getting 2000 because new balance is 2000 as the setter condition is we are able to modify our data as condition is satisfied, as condition is validated first. I hope this is clear. Why we are not directly assessing the data? If we are not making use of getter and setter, right? What we are doing, we are able to directly assess the data and that will break the data integrity. But if we are making use of getter and setter, that will provide us a control as well as a security. It will add a logic in a code. Means what we are doing before modifying the code, we are validating that whether that condition is feasible or not, whether that is possible or not. In case that is not possible, then there will be no change. And getter is simply allow us to read only data, simply allow us to read the data without any modification. I hope getter and setter is clear for you. In case you are having any doubt, do put your doubt in comment section below. If you found this video valuable, do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe Python Unlocked. Thanks for watching.